Hi, thank you for allowing my distraction. This is my first attempt to go live with class, so that's what we're attempting to do. I'm GuruNischan. Thank you for being here and trusting Amanda. We got a live class happening here in person, and we have a worldwide global class happening online. So welcome. Who's never taken Kundalini Yoga before? A few folks. Okay, but you've heard of some things. What have you heard? You have any ideas around it, or is it just something you're excited to try? Anything? Anyone? Excited to try? Okay, good. Well, hopefully it's working now. So, one of the fundamental things to understand about Kundalini Yoga is that it can feel really intense in the process of it, because one of the number one aspects of what this practice is doing is it's activating the nervous system. And the nervous system is the communication highway between the mind, the heart's information, and how that information is received through the physical body. And so as we see a lot of external chaos happening, the more external pressure there is, the more that actually affects the electrical currents of our own nervous system. So when there's external pressure and we haven't strengthened the nervous system to handle that amount of electricity that's coming at us like this, the best thing we can do is activate our own central nervous system so that the pressure that we're putting out is equal or a greater force than the amount of pressure that's coming in. So the power of what this practice does is it activates your capacity to handle uncertainty and chaos and pressure. And if you haven't noticed, the world is full of uncertainty, chaos, and a lot of pressure. So this particular practice, as opposed to other asana-based practices in yoga, is really the type of practice that we need as we're seeing more and more of a pressure crunch in our lives. More and more darkness, more and more things that just don't make sense to the rational mind. Like, how can this possibly be happening? And unless we have activated this source within us, we can actually short circuit, quite literally. So if you think about a house that has circuit breakers all through it, so that if there's too much electricity running through the wires, the circuit breakers will short as a way to protect the housing system. Well, we don't have circuit breakers, so we just go crazy. We just start to... And some people's crazy might be blood pressure or overweight, and other people's crazy is underweight and anxiety, and somebody else is, I just can't get to sleep at night. And, we all have our breakdowns, our symptoms. So one of the main reasons that this is happening and that we're seeing so much dis-ease or disease in people's bodies, whatever extreme it is because our glandular system isn't activated. And the glands are the guardians to our health. So one of the best things about the Kundalini Yoga practice is that it activates the nervous system and it gets the glands secreting. And when you get these two systems of the human body activated, everything starts to work on its own, because it's like the operating system of the computer. If you have a computer and it's malfunctioning, you can put in the latest and greatest software, but if the operating system is what's malfunctioning, then the new software isn't going to be able to input. So you can take the latest practice and the latest diet, and you can do all these external things, but the operating system is what's malfunctioning. So during a Kundalini Yoga practice, it can be very odd. And the reason is because what we're doing is we're using dynamic tension as a way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system that heals, rests, and restores. So this is a part of our nervous system that doesn't get a lot of practice, especially because in our culture, we're often validated by how much we're producing, how much we're offering, how much we're doing, how much impact we're creating. And that's one element of the nervous system. That's the outgoing, the sympathetic part of the nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is how much are we receiving? How well are we at being without having to actually do anything, to allow, to restore, to rest. And this is the part of the nervous system that most people is either on auto shut off or it's just not activated at all. And so one of the things that we're doing during the practice is we're bringing the body to a heightened level of intensity in order to bring the body to a deeper state of relaxation. So it's like using, it's like creating an internal pressure system. You're creating an internal pressure, so your mind is going to be like, I'm not so sure if I can continue. And in that place is what we're doing is we're training the system to relax under pressure. So you'll hear me guide you through those particular places. And I encourage you to go past what you think you may be able to function with, because we carry a lot of heaviness and stress, and the whole point of the practice is to cut through that heaviness so we can experience who we really are beyond all of the layers that we've accumulated from our lives, from our programming, from our relationships. Okay? So the other aspect is that there's a lot of things that may be unfamiliar, and when something is unfamiliar, the brain is always trying to work to figure things out. And so just acknowledge that the mind wants to compare, to contrast, and to compartmentalize. And so in those moments when the mind is trying to do that, just bring yourself back to the breath and try to relax within the intensity of the postures that we're experiencing, because it's going to help the body to balance itself. Okay? Last but not least, one of the overarching concepts of Kundalini Yoga is that it's all of the limbs of yoga combined before it got separated up and divided out and monetized. So it's a very Western concept to take something that's whole, to break it into parts, and then to call them different things and to monetize on all those parts as if they're separate. And so they're not. So yes, we use asanas, but it's not just a physical-based posture. We use pranayama, a lot of breath work. Mudras. Mudras are hand postures that can activate different zones of the brain. Mantra. Mantra is creating sound current, and you use the tongue, the roof of your mouth, your lips to create a certain vibrational frequency that actually changes the inner state. And then the last part, the last element of what we use is bandhas. And bandhas is using energy locks. So we may do a certain exercise to bring the body to a heightened level of intensity, and then we use the lock like a hydraulic system to surge that energy through the spinal column and to different parts of the body. So just have the experience of yourself and witness where you go and where you check out and where things flow and where it stops, because that's the basis of yoga, is just to connect. It's to connect to where we're at. We can't get to where we want to go until we figure out where we're at. And we start to really have the experience of where we feel like we get constant flow and where we feel like we're stuck and why, and kind of getting comfortable in those places. Okay? Any questions before we start? Okay. So when we tune in, we always start a Kundalini class with the same mantra, and it's Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om, very similar to Om. It's that creative consciousness of the universe, but it's in action. It's a penetrating active force. Om, O-N-G. Versus Om is that same force, but in the receptive capacity. Okay? So Om, it's active. The tongue hits the roof of the mouth, and you're making your head into a conch, like one of those shells, yeah? Om. You know when you have the sound right, that if you blocked off your nose, you couldn't make the sound. So let's try it. Om, om, om. But if you try the same sound through the throat, you could still do it. Oh, see the difference? Okay? And this is very important because there's a difference between chanting and singing. And when you chant, you're vibrating sound current to change the way that electricity moves through your chest. Okay? When we sing, we tend to are projecting more through the throat center. Okay? And both are super good and both can be super healing. They're just very different. So when you use your body as an instrument, you actually start creating a vibratory frequency that changes the way the cells are functioning. Okay? So Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Okay? We're going to chant it 3 times. The key, the left and the right hand, or like bringing the left and the right hemisphere of the brain together, focused at the command center of the body, which is the heart. Bring your awareness to the center of the hands, to your heart. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. And exhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Calling on the divine teacher within you. Calling on the ancestry that has come before us, the gurus, the saints, and the sages that have lit our path. Calling on that eternal wisdom that is encoded in every ounce of your DNA. Calling on that wisdom to be available to us and through us as we practice together today. Inhale deeply to begin. Om. intention for your practice. Tell yourself you're going to give it all that you have. And exhale. Beautiful. Stretch the arms up for Ego Eradicator. Fingers are wide. You're going to bring the fingers to the pads of the palms, so not in full fists, but keep the palms wide open, stretch the thumb away from the fingers, but up towards the heavens like you're plugging up into your highest self. Open the armpits, stretch the tongue all the way out of your mouth, and begin to pant like a dog. Really stretch that tongue. Try to reach the chin. When you stretch the tongue out, you activate the vagus nerve, the part of the nerve that activates empathy in the body. Stretches from the base of the belly to the base of the brain. Allow the eyes to close, go inside. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Tongue is one of the largest muscles in the body. Feel the connection between the navel point pumping and your exhalation. Feel the buildup of tension in the body, and as you notice that, relax anyway. Focus at the third eye point. Stretch the top of the head up to the heavens. Root the rectum down to the earth. Continue the same breath, but through the nostrils. Equal exhale and inhale, pumping the navel point. Pull the chin in, lift the chest up. Beautiful. This is breath of fire. We're detoxifying the blood, putting oxygen back into the blood. We're strengthening the electromagnetic field. The energy field surrounds your physical body. Keep those arms up at 60 degrees. You're doing great. The tongue is rested on the upper palate behind the two front teeth. Every time your mind wanders, just bring your awareness back to the third eye point. You're detoxifying the blood, putting oxygen into the blood. This is a great exercise to do first thing in the morning before you go out and interact with others. It helps to create an energy bubble around your body so that people can't absorb all your good energy or throw up their negativity on you every day. Sets your electrical frequency, turns your ignition switches on. You're almost there. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath. Connect the thumbs above the head. Squeeze the anus, the sex organs, the navel point. Stretch the fingertips up towards the heavens. Stretch the spine. Hold the breath. Pull the energy up. Hold. Beautiful. As you exhale, let the fingertips gently caress your aura as you release the breath. Resting palms up on the knees. Be as still as you can. Breathe consciously and deeply. Circulate the energy. Breathing loud enough to hear your neighbors breathe. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Let's begin some spinal flex. Hands on the shins. Spinal flex is a movement of your pelvis. So you're going to inhale, you're going to rock the pelvis forward, and then on the exhale, you're going to rock the pelvis back. So inhaling forward, exhaling back, okay? Now the head doesn't flop, okay? So imagine you have books sitting on the top of your head. The books would just stay right there with a nice neck lock, and you're inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Two distinct postures. Inhale forward, exhale back. It's not like a very long, elongated movement. It's just inhale, pop forward, exhale, pop back. Inhale, pop forward, exhale, pop back. Good. The upper chest just follows along because it's connected to the lower spine. You can go at your own pace, and as you start to feel comfortable with the movement, you can start to increase the speed. What we're doing here is we're adjusting all of the energy that's stuck at the base of the spine. A lot of energy in the lower base of the spine in the first and second chakra. And we're inviting this energy up the spinal column above the heart center. This exercise, when done regularly, is known to increase the spinal serum to the brain. It can help to increase memory, mental clarity. Keep the tongue rested on the upper palate behind the two front teeth. If you haven't already, you can start to increase the speed of the movement. Keeping the spine fluid and flexible keeps you young. Yogis say the age of a person has not to do with their chronological age, but by the flexibility of their spine. So it's the central nerve, the central spinal column, keeping this area fluid so that the energy can flow freely throughout the whole entire nervous system. Beautiful. Inhale, center. Inhale more. Mula Bandha. Squeeze the anus, the sex organs, the navel point. Root lock. Hold it. Tongue to the roof of the mouth. Shoulders down. Face relaxed. Keep the spine long. Exhale through the nose. Beautiful. Rest into Gyan Mudra. Index finger and thumb touching. Breathe deeply and circulate the energy. Meditate on the spine. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. We'll do one last warm up. Fingers are in the front, thumbs are in the back of the shoulders. We're going to inhale and twist left, exhale and twist right. Keep the tongue relaxed on the upper palate behind the two front teeth. We're adjusting the mid-spine here. The rib cage holds a lot of emotional garbage that we haven't processed. A lot of old resentments, fears, anguish, grief hiding in the lining of the rib cage and the lungs and the heart. So just work this out. When in doubt, increase the strength of your breath. Hear the sound of your own breath. Keep the elbows wide. Keep that heart open. And imagine you have a string at the top of your head pulling you upward. Keep the length of your spine up. Mentally vibrating Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. Truth is my identity. I am not the story of my life. I am not the things that I have endured. I am not what I've been told I can be. I am all that I am. I am the truth. Sat Nam. I am the living embodiment of truth in human form. Beautiful. Inhale, center. Keep the arms up. Lift the heart. And exhale down. Rest back into Gyan Mudra. Meditate on the spine. Circulate the breath consciously. Keep hearing the sound of your breath in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Okay, so today we're going to do a Kriya called the Apana Kriya, and Apana is the elimination. Okay, so prana is that life force that we bring in. Apana is that life force that we're expelling out. Okay, so we have the inhale, we have the exhale. We have positive, we have negative, we have masculine, we have feminine. We have the duality. The experience of the human experience is dualistic. And it's when these parts of ourselves aren't in balance, or we're not giving full credence to both parts of ourselves, that we don't operate from a place of wholeness. So oftentimes we want to live our light and live our fullness, but we haven't been willing to dive into the depths of our own darkness. So we haven't been willing to feel the uncomfortable parts of our human experience, which could be very traumatic parts of our life. And so unconsciously, and sometimes quite consciously, we forget and we just store parts of ourselves. So if we had a very traumatic experience and we didn't know how to handle that, out of self-preservation, the human organism is going to store that memory in your body somewhere. And it's out of protection. And we might not think we might think nothing bad has happened to us, and yet certain things start triggering us and we don't know why. We don't know where this stuff comes from. And so we're holding on. And one of the things about Apana is we tend to hold on to a lot more stuff than we're willing to let go of. And it can oftentimes, because we grow up, and not all cultures are like this, but definitely the Western culture, we don't learn how to express our anger. We don't learn how to express uncomfortable emotions that might hurt other people's, quote, hurt other people's feelings. And so we learn patterns of behavior when we're a very, very young age of non-expression, of withholding. And we're taught that that's what's acceptable. Like, you can't say that at the dinner table, or don't say that in public, and we learn to condition ourselves to withhold whatever expression needs to come out, whether it's a physical bodily expression, we grow embarrassed about our own bodily sounds, or things that we express. I don't feel comfortable with that. And being able to just express how we're feeling in that moment, we learn to censor. It's one of the reasons why Apana is the eliminative force is so out of balance in most of us, because emotionally we aren't processing a lot of our emotions in the first place. What happens over time is not only do we not know how to express it, we don't even know what we're feeling in order to figure out what to express. So because conditioning can go on for so long, what Kundalini Yoga can do very fast is awaken the sensory system. And when the sensory system is awoke, we start to feel more of what we've always felt. We just didn't know we were feeling it. But then that can bring up uncomfortable feelings, that can bring up memories. Oh, no, that's unacceptable. That means I'm unacceptable. Because from a childlike point of view, if something we did or said was unacceptable, we internalized it as saying who I am is unacceptable. So therefore, if I feel this way, we automatically equate it to say, wow, that must not be okay. And I'm only giving that background. This isn't a lesson on emotions today. It's to understand that the physiology, our body is always telling the truth. We just haven't learned the language of the sensory system to remember what it's saying. So a part of the awakening process is to desensitize. It's to wake up and to start feel again. And when we start to feel again, we might not necessarily understand the wealth of stuff that's coming to the surface, and it can be uncomfortable. And oftentimes when we're on a spiritual path, we equate this concept with if we do good, healthy practices, we should look, feel, and be good. And it just doesn't always work that way. Sometimes we do really good, healthy practices, and we feel like crap. And that can go on for way longer than we wish. And so we start looking for answers. Well, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? What do I got to do? And the truth is, you're doing it. You're doing it because the spiritual work, going inside and start to cultivating your inner life, is going to bring stuff from the inside out to the surface of life. And it's not going to be a comfortable experience because if it's garbage in, guess what it's going to feel like out? Garbage out. But we've got to get comfortable with being okay with the uncomfortable places of our life without needing to find an answer for it. Well, this is happening. What does it mean? Well, this is happening. What does it mean? And we're always wanting to know what it means. How about just feel it? That's it. Just be in it. Be fully present. Don't numb out. Just be there. Don't numb out trying to get to the blissful place. Just feel the dark places because that's a part of who the human experience is. We can't just feel good. That's only one element of our circuitry. We need the positive and the negative forces of ourselves to light our own filament, to light our own light bulb. Make sense? So Apana is that eliminative force. One way that we release is through excrement, yes? So this can help to adjust the digestive system. But it also has to do with emotions withheld because there's other places in our body of elimination. Skin is an eliminative force. So oftentimes when the body is starting to eliminate through the skin, it means you've been withholding for so flippin' long. The body's so flippin' tired of it, it's going to come out on your skin and it's going to make you pay attention. Okay? That's what we see when we start to see eczema and psoriasis. It's deep-seated emotions that have been so sugar-coated that we don't even know what's going on. Does that make sense? Okay? So there's lots of other ways of expression. We're going to be working with this whole concept of eliminative force today. Okay? So we're going to start by sucking air in through the mouth like we're drinking in the air. So it's like this. Okay, but I really want you to have the experience like you're sipping in, like you're drinking in as much air as you can, okay, in short little sniffs through the mouth. Okay, and you're going to take in as much as you can until you can't take it anymore, hold it, and then we're going to move the stomach, move the stomach to the left. So we're going to roll the stomach to the left. Okay, you're going to go about halfway to what you think is your halfway point. You're holding the breath. Then you're going to switch. Okay, and we're going to do the other way. Then when you can't hold your breath any longer, you get still and we're going to exhale. Okay, so we're going to do this together because we're only going to do 3 repetitions of it. So just do the best you can to stay with the sequence. Okay, and let's begin. Make sure you have a nice neck lock. Chin is pulled in. And spin. Go to the left. Switch directions. Hold the breath. Get still. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And sip in again. Take it all in and spin to the left. Go the other way. When you have to exhale, get still, let the breath go. Take a catcher breath. Last round and sip it in. And spin to the left. And spin to the right. Get still and exhale. Beautiful. Just breathe and relax. Feel the buildup of tension inside. Feel the body adjusting itself. In Kundalini Yoga, your body adjusts on the break. So we bring the body to a heightened level of tension during the exercise. And during the break, the body starts to adjust. All you have to do is breathe and be still. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Okay, so for the second exercise, we're going to come sitting on the heels and we're going to be in baby pose. And we're going to pretend like we have a 100-pound tail on our tailbone. Okay? So imagine you have this big old tail, like a big extra 100-pound tail. And what we're going to do is you're going to move your hips from the right to the left as if you're going to be wagging this big old tail. Okay? So you're just trying to get the tail wagging as if you could just like break down barriers with your own tail. Okay? So we're down in baby pose. Palms are going to be facing up. And from here, you're going to wag your tail so that you're going to start churning the navel point. Basically moving the hips left and right and left and right as if you're moving your tail in a big U shape. Good. And continue with that. Palms are at your sides if you can, palms up if you can, and just focus on moving those hips, one side, the other side. You don't have to go fast, you just have to be concentrating on moving this 100-pound tail. Turn the navel point as you move the lower abdomen. The eliminative force, the Apana energy, we're dealing with the first chakra. The base of the spine are eliminative forces. This place of security, safety, survival, a sense of belonging, our longing to belong. One of the primal human cravings. Just keep churning and moving the hips from side to side. Every time your mind questions whether you're doing it right, you just trust that you are, and you're doing the best you can with what you have in this body at this time. Be powerful with it. Try to break the walls on either side of you. Wag your spine. Move the hips left and right a few inches as if the tailbone traces out a U. Remember, it's not meant to be comfortable. It's meant to rearrange you from the inside out, to give you new holding patterns that are more in alignment with who you are versus who you have been told you have to be. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Break down these walls of your own life, these constrictions, these areas that feel like they bind you. Break them with your own tail. Beautiful. Use that breath. Feel the discomfort and breathe into it. Exhale to those places that you're resisting. Exhale to those places that are resisting you. Keep wagging your tail. Bring all your power to it. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale, just stay in baby pose and rest. If that's uncomfortable for you, you can shift a posture to a more resting posture for yourself. But breathe and relax. This is where we integrate, so breathe the full length of your spine. Be gentle with yourself, but go ahead and switch to come lying onto your backs. I want you to integrate this work by lying on your back. Open the body wide and just breathe. Letting the breath move in and out effortlessly. Staying aware and conscious of the breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Beautiful. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And wiggle the fingers and toes. You're going to go ahead and stay on your back, but you're going to bring the legs together and tuck the chin in. Okay? And your hands are at your sides. You can put them underneath your hips if you need to support yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift the legs up about 3 feet from the ground, so about like this. Keep the chin tucked in, and we're breathing long and deeply. Your body will start to shake. It's just your nervous system adjusting itself. Breathe consciously. Focus on your exhale. The better your exhale, the better your inhale. You're creating an internal steadiness right at the place where the Apana and the Prana meet. So again, 3 feet off the ground. Tuck the chin in, helps to elongate the spine, puts pressure at the right place. Remember, it's not meant to be easy. It's meant to rearrange us from the inside out, to create a steady internal balance. The body is a self-healing, self-regulating organism. It's designed to heal itself, to adjust itself, to recalibrate itself. When in doubt, exhale more powerfully. Inhale more powerfully. Exhale more powerfully. Let me hear your breath. Let your breath work for you. Yes, 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 yes. And exhale the full length of your body. Push all that stuck, stored energy out of the belly, out of the center, and move it out like it was shooting out of your toes. Yes. Focus yourself. Focus at the third eye point. Hear the sound. I am the truth. Sat. Nam. I am the living embodiment of truth. I am not my body. I am not my mind. I am the life force of my breath. You're doing great. You're so close. Keep it up. Let the body adjust. Shake and shiver. Clear it out. Move it, move it, move it. Nice breathing. Beautiful, beautiful. Less than 30 seconds. Keep it up. Long, deep breaths, not short ones. Deep, sustained ones. Yes. Let your breath work for you. Let it work through you. Beautiful. Hold the posture. Inhale. Mula squeeze the anus, sex organs, navel point. Pull the energy in and up, up, up. Exhale down. Open the body wide. Open the arms. Open the legs. Open the armpits. Breathe. Nice work. Big conscious breaths from the belly. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, so from this lay down posture, go ahead and pull your knees into your chest. And what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and grab like the back of the calves, the ankles, the knees, whatever works for you, but whatever allows you to kind of hold on to the body as you do like an extended platform pose from here. But we're going to hold the legs and we're going to be stretching forward like this, and then stretching forward and back. But you want to try to hold some part of your body the whole time. So maybe it's the back of the legs. Like for me, I can't hold my toes and do that. I could hold the back of my knees though. And if you're not that flexible and you're not able to get through all this, you just do the best you can to make adjustments. This set is a good example of a simple but powerful series that was kept secret to just a few yogis who learned it. This will allow you to completely master your digestive system and give a youthful appearance to your skin. Aging does not start just with years. It begins with the nutritional deficiency, intestinal problems, unintended emotional and physical stress, and an inflexible spine that disrupts the flow of meridians as well as rejuvenating flow of your spinal fluid. We've adjusted the acid-alkaline balance in exercise 1 in the stomach. We strengthen the heart in exercise 2. We move forward in balancing the gallbladder and the waistline, cleansing out the internal organs. And then move to flushing out the circulatory and the nerves, balancing the nerves. Make sure you're breathing with the movement. Inhale and exhale fluidly. Beautiful. And go ahead and rock yourself right on up into a sitting posture. And immediately block off your right nostril with your right thumb. Inhale through the left nostril. Using the pinky, block off the left nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the left. And exhale through the right. Make sure the spine is straight, the chest is lifted, the chin is in, shoulders down. Feel the energy radiate through the body, giving health, giving life, rejuvenation. Inhale deeply through both nostrils. And exhale. Take a few breaths, meditate on the spine. Staying within yourself, interlace your hands in Venus lock at the level of the heart. The thumbs are slightly touching. We're going to inhale and turn the head left, and exhale and turn the head right. We're distributing the pranic force and stimulating the thyroid and parathyroid on this exercise. Inhale, center. Suspend the breath. Exhale, relax the posture, relax the arms down, meditate in Gyan Mudra, circulate the breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale. We're going to extend the arms straight out, palms facing forward, and we're going to start to move the arms in backward circles as if we're swimming. Find what other breath rhythm works for you. We're not here very long. Last exercise before we relax. Palms are facing forward. You can go sideways too if you need to go sideways on your mat. Over halfway, you're doing great. Beautiful. Inhale. Bring the fingertips to the shoulders. Hold the breath. Beautiful. Exhale. Let the hands down. Inhale deeply. And exhale, slowly transitioning onto your back for relaxation. This is where the body integrates all the work, so cover yourself if you like. Open the legs, open the arms, give enough room for your armpits to breathe. Tongue relax in the upper palate, slightly parting the lips, relaxing any tension in the jaw. Take a body scan from the tips of the toes, all the way up the legs, to the knees, to the hips, to the thighs. Feeling the entire length of your spine falling into the earth, tucking the chin in, elongating the neck. Surrendering the shoulders to the heavens. Offering your heart. Feeling the effortlessness of this breath. Begin to deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Begin to rotate your wrists and your ankles in circles in both directions. Stretch the hands.